is the Next Up YouTube, and this is going to be a quick video. So I have both the Pixel 6 Pro, that is my primary device, and I came from the Galaxy Z Fold 2. Now, I know one of the questions people will ask, especially if you're choosing between one of those two phones, which one would you choose as your go-to device? And I would say this, when it comes to battery life, I feel like the Z Fold 2 have a better battery life overall. In fact, I would say that would be true for a lot of Samsung phones. I feel like, I don't know what it is, and I think it may be what they're doing with their software that's killing a lot more apps, or whatever they're doing. It actually do offer a better battery life overall. And what I mean by this, I got them both set to adaptive battery life on here, and I have no issues at all getting through the entire day on my Z Fold 2. Not one concern. That is not even a worry. I'm not reaching for my charger, and I'm doing a lot of multimedia, going a lot of stuff on that phone. So I'm not concerned. Now, when it comes to the Pixel 6 Pro, can I get through the day? Yes. Have adaptive battery improved my battery life? Yes. But it's not a drastic improvement. And what I mean by that is, if you're thinking you're going to go from the way you're currently having your battery life out of the box to like Samsung levels, you're going to be disappointed. It's not going to offer that kind of improvement. What it's going to offer is a little bit of a like 10 or maybe 15% difference. Meaning where before you was concerned that there was no way you getting through the day, now you feel like, okay, I am going to make it through the day, but when I do, I'm going to definitely have to plug it in when I get home. So if you have a long or extended day, you're definitely going to have to do what is a bump charge. Where with my Z Fold 2, if I had an extended day, I still had no worries that I will make it through the day. So that was the difference there. Now, that said, I do choose the Pixel 6 Pro because, for one, me personally, I prefer the simplicity of the software. It's just simple, and I don't feel like I'm gaining that much by using the Fold over the Pixel 6 Pro. What I mean by that is, well, the main, thing, or the main reason why people would say the Z Fold would be better, what? Because you can flip it up in tablet mode and you can watch a movie on it. But I want you to see something. I have both of these paused at a movie or a video so you can see something. You don't gain that much of a display advantage over the Fold than you do the Pixel 6 Pro. In fact, I would argue it's about the same size if you look at it. Now, where I will say the Fold do win is with the volume, because there are times when I am in the cardio theater and they're playing a movie in the background where the Z Fold, even with my earbuds in, if I crank it full volume, it is blasting me out that movie theater. So I can hear just fine. I'm not worried about what's going on in the background. That is not the same when it comes to my Pixel 6 Pro. I am not getting that same volume, and that makes a difference there. Now, as far as durability, I feel like the 6 Pro will be able to handle more than the Z Fold 2. Reason being because of the simple fact that the thing opens up and there's a possibility of dust and dirt that can get in the crevices and cause it to be a problem. Now, if you're coming from something like a Note, one of the newest Note phones or newest Galaxy Z phones, one of the Galaxy phones, then you're probably going to want to stay with the Galaxy phone if you're looking at battery life alone. Now, if you're looking for overall experience, I think that depends on you as a person. Meaning, look, I am not here looking to play the phone wars thing. I am going to talk to you like I would talk to my brother or a coworker or someone asking me which phone is best for me to get. And I would say, well, simply depend on which phone you're coming from and why you're using it. If you're a Pixel fan, you're used to the Pixel, you love the simplicity of the Pixel, this is going to be the best phone for you. And it's the best phone for me, for someone who's been using Pixel phones for a very long time. If you're a Galaxy fan and you've been using Galaxy phone for a while, when you come to this phone, you're going to feel like there's like a battery drop off. And it may frustrate you to a degree where you like, okay, with my Note or my S Galaxy S21 Ultra or something like that, my battery life on this was a beast. And now I'm coming to here and like, okay, it's making it through the day, but I'm having to grab my charger. And that's going to be the difference in the overall comparison when it comes to battery. That said, when it comes to overall usability and just the software, hands down, Pixel wins. And I think that's pretty much why people will pick up a Pixel phone, is because of software experience. It is just the simplicity, the cleanness of it, the fact that it just functions and works well. It's why I love it. I love Pixel phones. I love the platform, and it's why I choose them all the time. Even though at times Samsung have a leg up when it comes to some of the other bells and whistles. Now, I will say this, especially for all the Pixels in the past, this is the best Pixel. Or you know what? Let's back this up. This is the best Google phone that Google has put out ever. Ever. This is going, I'm talking about all the way back to when you look at the original Galaxy Nexus. And the reason why I say that, because when you look at the specs compared to what the competition is offering, it is on par or pretty much in some areas beating the competition. This is, when we said we wanted a flagship Pixel, this is the phone that we was talking about. Now, are there still some concerns that you need to worry about, like the fingerprint sensor? If you're coming from the previous Galaxy phones or any other phone that had a better fingerprint sensor, this is going to irritate you. That said, after a while, I don't know what it is, whether you just got used to how to put your finger on the phone or whatever, it's usable. And what I mean by that is, what I'm learning when it comes to the fingerprint sensor, I'm just having to leave my finger on there longer at a certain spot before it can register it. Where with other phones, the moment I touched it, it registered it quicker and it was ready to go. So that will be something that you got to think about if you're coming from it. So hopefully in this explanation, again, if this was you looking to decide whether you should pick this phone up for Christmas or not, whether this would be for you, hopefully this help you out. And next time I'll conclude with this. Are you a Pixel fan? Are you used to the Pixel line of products? Do you know what you're getting into? If you are, or if you do, this is going to be the phone you want. And especially if you're someone who came from an older Pixel and you're like, man, I would love to go back to a Pixel. I love the software experience. It's just, I can't get with their lack of hardware. Well, this is going to be the phone that you've been looking for, because it has the hardware now backing up its great software. And you're going to be like, okay, I'm glad I jumped back on board to the Pixel bandwagon, because this is the time to do that. If you're not a Pixel fan, you can care less. You're just an average Joe user. Will this phone work for you? You probably will love it. You probably will enjoy it for the software experience. You will definitely love the things that Google is doing, especially if you're someone who, are not concerned about, the Google spying on you type thing. Yeah, because some people do worry about that. But, I love the idea that the software works in pretty much every aspect of this phone, whether it be you're making phone calls and the phone, you're on hold and the phone can just hold for you, or it handles spam calls for you. And, it's doing so much stuff when it comes to software. This phone really feels futuristic, and it's just Google showing itself off. It's showing what it's learned. Like all the machine learning that's been doing for the past couple of years is showing itself off in this phone. And they got the hardware to back it. And that is something that if you're a Google or Pixel fan, this is the phone you've been waiting for. But if battery life is a big concern, you're someone who need that extended battery life. All this other stuff you can care less, but I gotta have that battery life. Battery life is very important for me. I can understand you gravitating towards something like a Galaxy Ultra, because again, I feel like something like that will probably do better overall when it comes to battery life. So hopefully this helped you out. Oh, cameras. I didn't do a camera comparison. I think there's enough camera comparison videos out there that you can use that to kind of, make your decision there. But I think you know when it comes to cameras, Google's real good with that. So when it comes to video photography, Apple wins there, but Google is not that far with the Pixel. So I don't think that's gonna be something where one would have to be chosen over the other because one blows the other one out the water. So when it comes to cameras, I'm going to just leave that out. Again, I think there's enough videos that would show that if you're concerned about that. But just for the overall usability for the average Joe out there or the average person out there just needing to use their phone to get through the day, this should provide you some information to put in your toolbox. So when you go out to the stores, the Best Buys, the Verizon, wherever you're going for the holiday shopping, you can have enough information where you know what you're looking for, what you're going for, and you're not being sold something that you don't want. So this is Next Up YouTube. Hopefully this helped you out. I'm out.